So I was in the shower, I was cleaning my ass and making all shirts all sparkly, spanky clean.
I'm not the funny one, I'm the pretty one.
Cock shots. I just checked myself out.
Candles, music, wine, and then lube up and get on top.
The glory hole's like a dick theater. I've imagined your family.
Which means your pants had better come off. Mama needs playtime.
We're not sluts.
We just love love. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mrs. Atom.
And this is Mr. Adam.
Welcome back to another episode of By the By.
Yep.
We'll see if Mr. Adam is really with it today or not.
He's not.
No.
I am. I'm in my own little world. It's great. People know me there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a happy world?
Yeah, it's a happy world.
That's good.
Yeah. So we got something cool to talk about today.
Yeah, we do.
Not too awful long ago, the lovely folks at MysteryVibe Limited reached out to us and said, "Hey, we'd like you to review one of our toys, or our new toy." And so they sent us. They were kind enough to send us a Crescendo.
Yes.
Which I already love the name. It makes me think of having a musical background. It's like, ooh, we're gonna raise and then boom. So yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna find out if it does that or not.
Yeah, so we got it. It's been a while now. What?
It's probably been about a month
About
or
a
so.
month.
Yeah.
We didn't want to just get it, use it, and talk about it. We wanted to get it and use it for a while and talk about it.
And use it in different ways.
And we've both played with it, both together a few times, separately a few times. That way we can, just kind of give what we really think about it, rather than just something that's scratching the surface.
And also, we'll get to this as well later on, but it has an app that goes with it. And there was an app update between the time that we first got it and then more recently. So we'll talk a little bit about our experiences before the update and then since. So we can you can see what the difference was between the two as well.
Yep. So apparently it was originally a crowd-funded off of born.com, which I have to be honest, I didn't even know about born.com, but I'm addicted to Kickstarter. But you don't see a lot of interesting sex toys on Kickstarter, so I may start looking at born.com to see if there's more interesting sex toys.
But yay for crowdfunding sex toys.
I know, right? Want to see my stretch goal? Yeah, but we they sent us a box and we opened it up and
The packaging was really nice on it.
I like unboxing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a sucker for unboxing videos online. I remember watching the unboxing videos of things like the Xbox 360 and whatnot when that was way back in the day. Unboxing this was fun. Honestly, it felt like an Apple product. Because let's be realistic. I think of all of the unboxings now, unboxing an Apple product, even their stupid cables, it's got this really nice feel to it. It's like, oh, this makes sense. You pull this tab, and it's just this sort of, whether you like Apple or not, I don't care. The thing is, they have this great mixture of design and function when you do an unboxing of their products, and I think the folks at MysteryVibe did very nicely with that.
Yeah, I thought that the packaging of it was very nice. It was good quality without being excessive, and like Mr. Adams said, it's there was you pull this tab, you do this, but it made sense. It's very easy to understand how to do it and how to get down to what you want, but. It just kind of had that really nice feel to it. And
it comes with this little pouch for storage of the toy that's kind of nice and quilted, and it's got this little sash around it that you can wrap it around it and make a nice little pretty clutch-looking bag for the toy, which I like that. It's a nice touch. I'll be honest, we probably won't use it.
It is nice to have something to store the toys in, though, to keep them clean and dust free.
I guess that's true, because you store a lot of the toys that don't come with packaging. I guess that.
Yeah.
So she's better about storing her toys than I am. All of my toys get dumped in a. We've got. Let me preface this a bit. Our bedside tables each have kind of an open shelf and then 2 drawers. And on both sides, the bottom drawers are closed and whatnot, but the middle drawers, the drawers closest to the bed, are toy drawers. And my side is all butt plugs and anal beads and anal lubes and some condoms. And your side?
My side is vibrators, dildos, strap-ons, basically everything else.
Yeah. So, and hers are all usually very well organized. They all have little sachets or bags that they're in. And like when you buy really nice shoes and they come with bags, she'll take the toys and put them in there. And mine are just kind of dumped in. I do have like collection of shoe boxes in there. So you've got like there's a location for butt plugs, there's a location for lubes, location for condoms. I mean, so at least there's some organization there, but
within the compartments, they're all willy-nilly.
It's all willy-nilly style. So if it was just me, I can say that the Crescendo wouldn't get its proper storage. But assuming that it's probably going to stay on your side of the bed, it will get probably wrapped up in its nice little packaging as they intended.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, I'm a mess. Don't judge. Yeah, so right out of the box, it's like most toys or more recent toys. It's USB charged, which I like that, but it's a little different.
It is a little different. You going to talk about that?
I'll let you talk about it. I've been rambling on and on.
So it has a USB cord that plugs into like a little charging base, and then the Crescendo itself sits on top of the charging base. And so there's no direct plug-in to the toy or anything like that. It's just by the proximity of it sitting on the base.
Yeah, it's one of those magic, I don't know, it's the near frequency kind of charging, which I don't even know what that's called other than magic, where it goes from the plug to the machine and all they have to do is touch, which is, I like that. Takes about 2 hours to charge, or I'm sorry, it charged really fast, and the charge lasts for about 2 hours. I know that we have played with it what feels like longer than 2 hours without charging it. But maybe that's sex time and not real time.
Maybe. Yeah, it did charge quite quickly. It came with some charge, but we went ahead and got it full before we started playing with it, just because you don't want to be playing with a toy and then have it to die mid-play on you. That's
we've had
not
that
really
happen.
fun.
We've had that happen before, and the one that sticks in my brain is we were playing with one of the big massagers, the Hitachi ones, and it died mid-play on you. Like you were seconds away from squirting, and it died, and you went, "Oh!" It's just this great frustration of I'm so close and I'll never make it.
So it's always good to charge your toys when you first.
That's right. So yeah, it's. I'm actually admittedly just sort of flipping through some of the features that they have on their website, and they say it's 100% waterproof. I will, just to criticize them a bit, it says 100% waterproof, and then directly below that it says water resistant. So it has no holes in it. It's 100% silicone. It's a really nice silicone, but so it's got to be waterproof.
There's no opening or anything on it. Like I said, even the charging, is the whatever the...
It's wireless charging,
Yeah. So I don't see why it wouldn't be waterproof. Now, I wouldn't necessarily throw it into a pool or anything real deep to find out. But
I want to know who scuba dives and masturbates at the same time. If you've ever scuba dived... scuba driven. If you've ever been scuba-ing and
diving,
there you go. If you've ever gone scuba diving, man, I would say let's cut that, but listen to me stumble over all that might be entertaining. And you have masturbated, 20 meters under. I want to know about it.
Or even for like girls, especially if they have the toys, that you can put up and leave inside, and they're just remote controlled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
While scuba diving, that would be awesome. You've either got your life really sorted out or you're completely fucked up, if that's the case.
It would be interesting, though.
Yeah, so I guess the first question that people would probably ask is, what's different about this?
Right.
You know, what makes it special? You know, we've all seen those vibrators. They've got something that's a bit different, and you know, but really it's exactly the same. For the Crescendo, it's I should have measured it, but it's about the height of a beer bottle. It's about beer bottle long, and it's got.
Well, I can tell you exactly how long it is. It's the exact length of a condom when it's put on.
True.
Because
That's right.
When we were playing with it anally, we put a condom on and stretched it all the way down the length, and it fit it absolutely perfectly.
Yeah. So if you completely unroll a standard
condom, yeah.
it is. You're right. It is the exact length of a standard condom.
Yeah.
Look at you, remembering shit.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what that length is, but you know.
Doesn't matter. It's
I can Google that.
About the length of a beer bottle.
Yeah.
It's got 6 motors in it. And it's fully flexible. It's completely bendable. Like, you can make it into a donut.
And the motors there are 6 motors in it. They go from end to end. So there's no section of it that doesn't have a motor in there.
Yeah.
And like Mr. Adams said, it's bendable in the one direction between the motors. It's not completely, 360 around. But it bends between each and every motor, so you can mold it to your body shape, depending on where you're using it or how you're using it, or even if 2 people are.
Yeah.
You can bend it and mold it to that.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Yeah, I actually really like that because, when I was playing with it by myself, you can try these different things for prostate play, especially. It's like, do you want to bend just the tip? And if you bend just the tip, while pushing in and out, you've got this one little ridge that is basically hitting everywhere inside. So on the before, hitting, and then after the prostate. And that's kind of nice to get an actual massaging of it. Mm-hmm. Or my preferred way was more of just a soft U. So I could put it in and just curve it. I wish people could see what I'm doing.
Like a banana type shape?
Yeah, like a banana shape.
Yeah.
There you go. And it's size-wise, it's almost perfect for anal play. Mm-hmm. If I could pick, I would have it have a little divot. Because near
divot
the end,
where?
Like near the end. So, and the reason I say that is sort of, how most butt plugs come to a small and then they have a flare out, so they won't go in.
Right.
This one has, this toy has little fins at the end of it, mm-hmm. Which would prevent them going in and staying in. But what I found is when I let go of it in my hand, my normal body just sort of wants to slowly push it out. Yeah. And especially when we were having sex and I had it in, just that movement of sex, it wants to come out. So I have to physically hold it in. Where if it had a flare at the mm-hmm. end, or even it would be, my sphincter muscles could actually hold on to it, so that it wouldn't go anywhere. That would be the one change I would make for it.
And then the question is, how does that affect for female play and whatnot? Because that would then change the shape there too.
I don't think it would make that big a difference.
You don't think it would?
I think it would have more effect on how bendable it is, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I thought it was great. There was a few times, and we can talk about, I guess, controlling it now that makes sense. It's, of course, app controlled, like you said earlier.
You don't have to. There are buttons on it that you can cycle through some of the pre-done patterns. So you can cycle through those and you can control the intensity, from low to high. So you can do that on the vibrator itself without having to use the app. So you don't have to use the app. It's way more fun to use the app.
Yeah,
but
and some of the vibrations were just great. There was a couple mm-hmm. where I can feel it pulsing deep inside because you had just the very end, and then it was a pulse, and it would go doom, doom, doom. Whereas right near the where it was, I guess, right at the ass or the sphincter muscle right there at the end, it felt like a rim job because it was mm-hmm. it was this really fast beat vibration, which was really kind of awesome. That was a great feeling.
And some of the preset vibrations they have for it, you've got a wave type thing, and it'll go up the 6 motors and back down. You've got pulses. There's a whole variety of ones that they have already pre-programmed in there.
Yeah.
And then you can also create your own as well, which is really kind of neat because you can then control the intensity, the type of pattern it is on each motor, and what order they go in for how long. It's really completely customizable when you're creating a pattern.
Yeah. And, there was just a few things, like small attentions to detail that I really liked. Like, and I don't remember how many there were, but there was a number of, like you said, types of vibrations. Mm-hmm. So you've got those soft waves, you got fast waves, or flutters, Mm-hmm. But one of the ones I like is that sort of a pulse. And that was one of the ones that they can do, is you ramp up and then drop. Mm-hmm. Ramp up and drop. And for me, that's a great feeling. That's my favorite kind of...
You like the pulsing more, whereas I like the waves more.
Yeah, I like those deep pulsings, like where it's really intense and then it stops. Yeah. And then it slowly gets really intense and then stops.
And I don't like the stopping, which is why I like the waves, because then there's always something going on.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
I don't want you to take it away from me.
Don't take it away. Aww. Yeah, but it was kind of nice. I mean, because it's... For something of its size, I think it produces more, maybe not as much vibration as I would always want, mm-hmm. but more than I ever thought it could, if that makes sense.
And it definitely has enough, I would say, for most of the time that we're playing.
Yeah.
And I know that one thing, the difference between before the app was updated and after, I know before it was updated, we had issues with it dropping out a little bit.
Yeah.
It would disconnect sometimes.
Midway through play, and that's always frustrating. But since the app update, which came out a few weeks ago, mm-hmm. It's been pretty rock solid. It's been consistent, yeah. When you're connected, you stay connected.
Yeah. And I do like that you can control the motors all individually.
Now, yes, again, because I don't think that was part of the original.
I don't think that was part of the original.
But since this most recent update, mm-hmm. you can create your own, like, it's really...
It's a pattern.
Yeah, your own pattern. And you can select any of the 6 motors, give them all different kind of intensities, all different kind of, like how strong they are, mm-hmm. and then different patterns, so I guess intensity and pattern. And then how long are they going to do that for? Yeah. And so we did one for you that ended up being about a 2.5 minute vibration, and I actually named it with you. So I took it and made it like a Harry Potter zigzag lightning bolt. So that with a little bit of curve, because mm-hmm. knowing your body, I know where your G spot is. Mm-hmm. Knowing where that Z, the zigzag goes, I knew I could lay that against your clitoris, mm-hmm. and then I had a small little handle to hold on to it with.
I do really like that you can tailor it to wherever your G spot is. You can curve it up to where it feels good that way, and it's pretty consistently... Doesn't it have a slight increase in size as you go down as far as the width goes? It's not a lot.
Very slight. Yeah. I mean, it's not a lot.
It's because it's basically the similar width from end to end, but it does have a very, very slight increase.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because when I was playing with it, I would turn it around sideways as well just mm-hmm. to see how that did. Which, of course, is a little better if it wasn't quite as bent, but still, it was just interesting. But I do like the fact that you can, bend it to hit your G-spot, to hit the clitoris. Again, you can really, it goes pretty good angle. It's got quite a bit of bend to it.
Well, again, you can make it from straight to a full 360 circle, a donut. Yeah. You can make a donut out of it, because that was something else that you did, because you made it into a donut and then wrapped it around my cock and were going down on me while it was vibrating at the same time.
Yeah.
And that was one of those, like, your eyes start rolling back in your head, and it's like all the muscles in my groin were tightening up because I was trying to hold back the orgasm. So.
And what was fun about that is when I was making the pattern for that, so I made a custom pattern for that as opposed to using one of the pre-done ones. But I tried to think about where each of the motors was around your penis. And so if it was in the front, the back, the side, somewhere weird, whatever. But I tried to figure out where the motor was and which kind of pattern you liked better in that position. And so... so some of them I had pulsing stronger than others. Some of them I had in waves. I think the two side ones I had doing the same thing, but the front back were different because you want different intensity in them and whatnot. And so I tried to at least make something that we could use as a start for that. But it seemed to go pretty well.
Yes, and I like that you can save the patterns. And then if you wanted to play with it without the phone, you can actually upload it to the toy.
Yep.
So that if you then play with it without the phone, you just have to find your pattern, and it will run through that pattern over and over and over again. Which, again, I think that's it's well thought out, and I really appreciate that. It's... I like it. It's definitely one that I can see going back to over and over, both by myself and with you, because I've played with it by myself, and that's a lot of fun. And then we've played with it where I've had it in me and I'm fucking you. That's a great feeling. It's really difficult. I will say it's always difficult for me to focus on one or the other because I'm like, wait, ass play, pussy play, ass play, pussy play, and it's going back and forth in my own head. But in a positive,
overthink too much.
In a positive way. No, it's good because it's like, oh my God, I've got so much I can't focus on.
Yeah, it was really good. And we've both played with it separately, and then we played with it together. And I like how flexible it is, in that it's not just one or the other kind of toy. It's very multi-purpose.
Yeah.
And the motors were strong enough that I was able to squirt with it because it's hard it requires a lot of intensity for me to be able to squirt. But they were definitely strong enough to do that.
Wait, did you like flood squirt, like where it squirted out? Because I actually admittedly wasn't here to watch that when you did it. It was a by yourself play.
Yes.
Or was it an ooze squirt where you squirted around it? Or did you pull it out and then you just like shot it out?
Yeah, so it started with like the oozing around it, and then I pulled it out, and then it shot out.
I really need to get a video of that. I mean, for my own research, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, because that just sort of turns me on. I'm like getting turned on right now as we talk about it. So those are all the things we really like.
Yes.
Is there anything that you don't like or wish you could change on it?
I'm trying to think.
So for me, one of the things and this is true of all toys that have apps to control them, they're frustrating. I find it frustrating. I appreciate it completely, and especially when two people are doing it, it's a little more fun because your hands are more likely going to be clean, and especially for me, my hands are covered in lube because, especially if I'm doing anal play, so I'm covered in lube, so I don't want to touch my phone with silicone or whatever lube all over my hands because then that's hard to get off my phone. So I always find I like the apps. I think they're fun, but they're either it's a mess with my phone. Or
maybe you should just wear nitrile gloves when you're doing the lube part and then take them off to touch the phone.
But then if you're still moving the thing in and out...
Well, fair enough, yeah.
I know what you mean. I get what you mean. But at the same time, I appreciate the technology, but it just doesn't... Sometimes it just falls flat. When it doesn't, the app has to be perfect. And for me, this app is relatively easy to use, but it took me a little while to figure it out. It's not as... I don't know. It doesn't immediately make sense to me. I will say connecting to the toy is super simple. And once you figured it out, it makes sense. And once you found the patterns that you like, it makes sense. But the other side of that, and maybe I'm just playing with it wrong, is... And maybe this is the way we should do it. We should both both fully clothed design the vibrations ourselves, because I found that when we were playing with it and I was designing the vibrations for you, that's a bit of a lull. It's,
Which is fine. It doesn't have to be a continuous thing.
I know, but it's one of those things that you want to work up to something, and I realize that orgasm's not the goal, but there's something not sexy about going, it's like, oh, just a second while I do this. And it takes anywhere from 10 to 45 seconds to create a new vibe. Because I'm focusing on the phone when we're playing, I should be focusing on you.
But at the same time, if we're doing it clothed and I don't have a chance to feel it, I'm not going to necessarily know if it's as good as it could be or not.
True. I don't know. I don't.
So I think you just have to look at the building process as just that. This is a building process. It's not going to be complete and total sexy time with no interruptions.
I know. It just, for me, it always seems like playing with your phone takes some of the sexiness out of sexy time. And I think it's just because of the way we are in society. Wherever we go, somebody's looking at you. There's people just always on their phone. Yeah. And so one of the things I like about sex is we're often away from our phones. And this is just something else to bring the phone into the bedroom. I don't like that. I do like the ability to switch really quickly and yada, yada, yada.
And the
so I don't have a solution.
Yeah.
And the flexibility. I love that flexibility. Yeah. So I don't have an actual solution. I'm just bitching.
Yeah, I do. I will say that of the apps, of the toys that we have that are app controlled, this app now, since the update, is the most stable, I would say.
Yes, definitely the most stable.
And they all, and maybe it's just me and my learning curve, but they all take me, a few minutes of sitting there looking at it and kind of swiping and playing and, go left, right, up, down, wherever, and trying to figure out how exactly it works.
Yeah.
And admittedly, we didn't really read any instructions or anything. We just jump right in and start doing it.
I'm a firm believer that if I need to read instructions to use a sex toy, there's a problem with the sex toy.
But it did take me a few minutes
to give them credit. Sorry to jump in, but to give them credit, when you open the app and you go to connect to the toy, if it can't find the toy, the first thing it shows you is visually how to turn it on. I love that.
Yeah.
Because most toys nowadays have an up and down button and then maybe a plus and minus button. None of those sound like on buttons to me. Right. And so this app immediately shows you how to turn it on, how to turn your toy on. I like that.
Push this button here.
Push this button here, hold it for 3 seconds, and then it tries again, it connects, it works perfectly.
Yeah.
That's a huge... I do give them props for that. Because I remember, and I think that's a new thing for the updated app as well. Because I remember there was a few times I was like, I have no idea how to turn this thing on. I'm hitting all the buttons, just like shaking it and going, come on, work for me.
Be patient. 3 seconds.
I'm not patient.
3-second rule.
That means if it's falling on the ground, I can put it in my mouth within 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, that's my only complaints.
Once I figured out how to use the app, because at first I was cycling through the patterns looking at them, and it would do a trial, little bit of it, but then I was like, but how do I actually play it? And I realized I had to swipe up for that and whatever.
Go to the play section, not the test section.
Right, and because I had been in the test section. So once I figured out how to do all of that, it was a lot better.
Yeah.
It just took me a few minutes to get there.
I think that just means we're old.
Yeah, it's my learning curve. I accept it.
So, all right. So, on a scale of, all of these are going to be scale of 1 to 10s, or we can do 0 to 10 erections. That's our new ranking scale. Some people do stars. We do cocks.
Awesome.
Anyway, what would you say for usability?
Oh, usability. I would definitely say it's 8, 9. It's definitely up there.
I would have given it a solid 8. Yeah, very much a solid 8. The complaints that I have with the app are very slight. I know I've rambled on, but I think that's more of it's less a complaint about this specific app and more a complaint about sex apps in general.
Yeah.
And phones in general. So how often, now look at me, I'm already going off my 1 to 10 range. How often, we can still do it in 1 to 10, would you see yourself reaching for this toy?
I would say probably, I can't really say in a timeline other than the fact that it would definitely be more than some of the other toys, especially that are app controlled and whatnot, because I like the fact that it is so flexible. And even when I play with it by myself, I'll change the shape of it, because sometimes I want it to hit my G-spot more, sometimes I want it to hit the clitoris more, sometimes I just want an overall vibration feeling. So I do change the shape of it. I don't always use it in the exact same shape, which is nice as well, because then you get some variety, and I like variety.
It's the spice of life.
Yeah. So definitely more than that, but it's one that I would use for extended play with myself or with you. It's not one that if I just want to get off quickly, I'm not going to go to it.
Yeah.
So it depends on the situation.
So if you have time to play, it's one you would reach for if you had more time to play.
Right.
But if you're just trying to get off and go, it's not one you would reach for.
Right. And I do really like using it when I circled it, made it into a circle, and put it around the base of your cock. Yeah. I really like that.
Yeah, that was nice.
Because it both gives a different sensation for you, obviously very much so on a blowjob, but it also feels really different for me, and it frees me up then to play with, the top of your penis more and the balls a lot more, but yet you still get a lot of stimulation. Yeah. So I like that.
And for me, I would say that this is probably going to be one that I'll reach for pretty commonly. Size-wise, for anal play, it's nearly perfect.
And I thought it was a good size for me as well.
I really like that. I like the ability to, get something deep inside me vibrating, and then something right around the almost outside of me vibrating, for again that rim job kind of feeling. It's one that I would go to, like if I just want some quick anal play and quick masturbation. This would definitely be. It's funny. It's not one that you would go for the quick. You're more the long. Yeah. Whereas if I'm going to go the long, slow play, I want something bigger to be more, fill me up kind of sex play.
Right.
But if it's just going to be a quick, let's get and go, I want something a little smaller. And this sort of fits that. It's right at the upper limit of small.
Okay.
For me.
Interesting.
If that makes sense. Anyway. Yeah. So I can see myself reaching for this a little more often than some of the other toys, because it is easy to insert. It's easy. Fits a condom fits on it very well.
And I will say that we have several other toys that are supposed to be him and her, and they work more for her than they do for him.
He's an afterthought. It's always that he's the afterthought.
But I think in this one, it's about 50-50, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that is a plus. And we didn't actually try this, but now I'm thinking I'd like to try it, is because it will bend into a full C. And it would be interesting for you to have one anally and vaginally at the same time, because I think I know it would fit. And I think that'd be kind of fun to
We'll have to try that.
To play with. So yeah. All right, so I asked about how often you're going to go for it. I asked about usability. Overall quality.
It seems to be really good quality, I would say. If I have to give it a score, I mean, not having had it long term yet, I would definitely say 9. Yeah, maybe.
I would agree with a solid 9.
The motors are strong. The silicone seems to be good quality. It bends easily, but it doesn't feel like it's going to break.
No, it doesn't feel like it's going to break at all. Yeah. I don't know what's on the. I'd love to cut it open and see what's on the inside. I know, dark, but I don't know how it works bending on the inside.
Yeah, I don't either.
But it feels sturdy and strong, and like you would have to really work to break it. And we've had a few toys that are even expensive toys that feel like if you're a little rougher with it, they're going to snap, and that's always frustrating. And this one, it isn't bad. I was just looking at the price. I think it's $179.
$179, I believe, US.
Yeah, so $179 US, but free worldwide shipping, which is unheard of today. So that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, how many erections does this one get?
Well, how many has it had so far?
A bunch. For me, it's a easy 8, probably a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say somewhere between 8 and 9. Yeah.
I really like this one.
I have a hard time giving anything a 10 out of 10.
I do too. There's always room for improvement. Yeah. Nothing is perfect. But I really like this toy.
Yeah, I feel like they've put a lot of thought and a lot of work into it.
Well, it's definitely one of those toys that's made by people who play with toys.
Yeah.
And, I think that's
Maybe that's the difference.
That's the difference. I think, we've got some of these companies, even companies that I tend to like Fun Factory, they make good stuff, but sometimes it feels like they're just making something to fill a slot in their catalog. And this one, to my knowledge, is the only toy that MysteryVibe makes at this point. But it's
a good one.
Yeah, it ticks all the right boxes. So I would highly, highly recommend this one.
Yeah, and we'll put a link up on our webpage and Twitter feed as well.
Yep.
So you can check it out, go to it, see how it does. They've got some videos online as well.
Yeah, they've got some awesome videos. They've got a video of the unboxing, designing your own patterns, and yada, yada, yada.
Which is fun. I want to play with some more patterns. We need to spend some more time with that.
We do need to spend some more time on that, that's for sure. But for anybody who wants to check it out, it is www.mysteryvibe.com.
Yes.
And then it'll take you to the right spot.
Yeah, and it's the Crescendo. Like Mr. Adams said, it's the only toy that they have at the moment. So,
yep.
Yeah.
So highly recommend.
It's a fun one. Yeah.
Do we have a... I'm sorry, I just look at their website now. We do have a question, I'm sure, but I just want to add as well their app. So we've got iPhones, of course. They also have it on Google Play. It's available at Amazon and direct download for Android. So it's like, oh look, cross compatible. Okay, sorry. Do we have a question? We do have a question, right?
We've actually had several questions come through lately from listeners. And there's one that I think we can make a whole entire episode about, so we'll hold off on that one. But we'll go through a couple of them here.
Okay.
So one of them, somebody asked if we've ever hooked up with a partner's friend or family member. Have you ever hooked up with a partner's friend? Or let's start with family member. Have you ever hooked up with a partner's family member?
No. Have you?
I have not. Have you ever thought about it? Was that ever a consideration?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I've always made jokes about your brother, but it's just to make him uncomfortable. It's not actual. I would never follow through with it, but it's just to make him uncomfortable because I've made those jokes to his face. And I love to see him get
You like to see people squirm?
I like to see him squirm. It's kind of funny. But no, I don't think so. How about you?
No, I've never... I would say I've never been sexually interested in a partner's family member of any sort.
No.
It just hasn't been one of those things that turned me on or anything.
I'm trying to go
back. It was interesting even.
I'm trying to go back and imagine, and I really can't. I don't know.
All right. What about a friend?
Well, yes, of course. I mean, it's like I hooked up with your work friend
before us, because we've been open in our relationship from the beginning. So that doesn't that makes it a little trickier.
I guess that's true. Because us, of course, you've slept with my friends, I've slept with your friends, and it's just like it's cool.
Yeah. So I guess before each other, when you were in a non-open relationship.
No. Have you? Well, of course you did. you married two friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but I didn't hook up with them while I was married. It was afterwards.
Right.
But, so they weren't exactly a partner at the time.
Right.
They were a former partner, and then I hooked up with their friends. Does that make it any better or worse? Or
I don't think it's bad either way, but I'm just, it is what it is.
I didn't do it while we were married, but afterwards, it happens. Proximity, right?
Keep your friends close and your play friends closer?
Uh-huh.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a fun one. Have you ever given or received roadhead? And I want details.
Well, you were there for most of it. Have I ever given roadhead? I don't think I have.
No?
No. I have received roadhead from you, but before that, no, never. You were the first to give me roadhead. I'm now, though, very much, as I get older, the more against roadhead I am, because now all I can imagine is hitting something enough to get the airbags to go off and smack you in the head, and what's your immediate response is to clamp your teeth down, and then the next thing you know, my willy's floating around in your mouth, or you choke to death on my cock, which
Neither one is a good scenario.
So many bad things. That's what goes on in my head now. But, I mean, when you've done it, it was great. And then extrapolating on that a bit, there was that time that we were driving to my parents' house, and we were in the convertible, top down, and on a lonely country road, you happened to pull my pants down while I'm driving and then raise your skirt up, and then you were riding me. So we were driving along the road while you were straddling me, and we were having sex while driving.
Not a safe thing to do.
Not a safe thing
Not recommended.
to do. No, but that was...
That was in one of our more foolish moments.
Yeah, but it was still fun.
It was fun, but one of our more foolish moments.
I had my seatbelt on.
Yes. It probably would have been better just to pull off to the side of the road.
Yeah,
and not
but
actually
then we wouldn't be able to say we had
driving.
sex in a moving car at 55 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, yeah. And you?
I obviously have given roadhead, and you were not the first.
Well, duh.
Yeah, one of my previous partners, we did a lot of driving and traveling around, and so I'm not going to say it was a common occurrence, but it was not super rare. So I would give him roadhead a fair bit. I was always conscious of who was around. Like, of course, in cities, you're not going to do it in a city.
Yeah.
Usually on open highways where it was a lot less traffic, maybe the occasional trucker or so go by. And
Did you ever have a trucker slow down and watch?
oh, well, they definitely saw, because they're sitting up a lot higher, and we're usually in a convertible. I often didn't do it with the top down. Can't say I didn't ever, because I don't remember, but generally the top was up. But yeah, the people would see, but it also was one of those things that every now and again, if we happened to be near a car with a family going by, then he would like hold my head down, just like don't pop up kind of thing, because you don't want to scare the kids away, you know. So there was some consideration as to who was potentially looking in. So yeah, definitely did that a few times with him, and then of course with you, we did it only a time or two though.
Yeah.
Because it really is not a safe thing at all to do.
I've tried to go down on you, but it's hard to go down on you while you're driving.
It's hard for girls.
But I've definitely fingered you many a times while driving.
Yeah, fingering you can do.
And also while I was driving, fingering you. That's always fun.
Yeah.
And then you've given, I remember we left the nude beach here in Sydney, and we're driving home, and you gave me a hand job in the car during thick traffic.
Yeah.
You were just sitting there, and that was kind of fun because people driving by, and I don't think that many of them, if any of them, could see in.
I don't think they can see. Yeah.
It's kind of awesome.
Everybody's usually so focused straight ahead of them, especially in traffic.
Yes.
It's amazing how people don't stop and look around. I'm always curious, so I always look at people.
Yeah, me too. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah, it is interesting because even with like the whole fingering thing and hand jobs and stuff, it still distracts you. And so it's not
safe.
It's still not a good thing. I mean, I would say it's probably a little better than roadhead as far as safety goes, but it's still not great. But yeah, I am a lot more cautious of it now as I get older. But when you're young and stupid, yeah, I've done that.
That's awesome. I love it.
So.
Awesome.
I'd like to think I'm a little wiser now. Yeah.
I'm all aroused now. I think we need to go play.
Yeah, you think so?
Either grab the Crescendo back out, or just pounce on you. Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this one up. It's gonna be an early one because I'm gonna go get laid. So follow us on Twitter at By the By Podcast. You can find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/By the By Podcast. Find us on the website, our website. We are bytheby.com.au. Or you can email us at theatomsoflove@gmail.com.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And we'll post links to MysteryVibe, Crescendo, and all that fun stuff. And, yeah, send your questions to us. We love to get your questions.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Talk to you soon.